I don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, but if you had to, though. We set the scene, we have a choice. We must decide on the correct answer. I'm Kyle.
And I am Nathan.
And this is If You Had To, though.
Hello, Kyle.
Hello again, Nathan. We're back for episode 38.
Oh, is that the number?
That's the magic number of today's episode.
38, that's the magic number.
That's like in the song, isn't it? 38. That's the magic number.
That's beautiful, Kyle. Please keep singing. I mean, why have we been doing a podcast all this time and not just an hour and a half of you and me singing?
I mean, I have considered it in the past because our voices, they scream talent.
Without discussing it, you and I should now do a duet.
We should just do a full musical, start to finish, just ad-libbed.
Musical episode.
This is the musical episode. Buffy did it, Scrubs did it, now it's our turn.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're on the same standing as Buffy and Scrubs.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have an orchestra. We don't have any musical instruments on us whatsoever.
We don't have an audience.
We don't have the voices of people who sing.
That was the kindest possible way you could have put that.
I mean,
I can't sing.
Fantastic. How would it open our podcast? If our podcast did a musical episode.
It would be your little spiel, but in a musical style.
We set the scene, we have a choice. We must decide on the correct answers. I'm Kyle.
And I am Nathan.
And this is... If you had to, though. If you had to, though. Yeah, something like that.
I do love that we both decided it should be some kind of like rock opera theme.
Of course, what else would this... If you made this podcast into a musical, it would have to be a rock opera. There is no in between. Oh, it could be set in space. We could do a space rock opera.
And that would be why no one could hear us sing. The world's first silent musical.
Brilliant. Then we wouldn't have to do anything.
Exactly.
We just post up an hour and a half of...
Float around, look like we're singing.
Exactly.
We can buy one of those... we can buy a green screen, or we can go into space pretty easily, can't we? It's what? A couple of £100? If we do that, that thing when you put those, what is it, Mentos in a bottle of Coke? If we strap ourselves to a bottle of Coke, do that thing, we could get fired into space.
It's possible.
And we need to wear scuba masks so we don't, drown
Suffocate.
in space.
Drown in space?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This space is full of liquid.
It is. Oh, yeah, you don't want to get that space in your lungs.
Space water. Space tar. That's what the sky's made of. Tar.
Space tar.
Yeah.
See, that is our first fact for the episode, and it's a fact that the elite don't want you to know. They want you to think that space is actually the space between things in space. But no, as me and Carl have now decided, it is tar.
Wonderful. The listeners are getting a fact before I've even read out the premise of the show. We are on fire today, Nathan.
But it's a good thing we're in space, because fire... Oh, wait, no, it's all tar. Oh, my God, we've set space on fire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. The entire universe is burning. Everybody panic. We're all going to die.
Okay, so we haven't done the premise yet, and we've destroyed the universe. Usually it takes until the second act before we end up destroying the universe.
Yeah, usually. We have to build up to that. We did it quite easily. We're getting better at it.
We're getting better, yeah. That's one way of putting it, I suppose. But the premise of the show is that we create scenarios for each other, resulting in two possible outcomes. We'll discuss each outcome's pros and cons and decide definitively on the correct answer.
Exactly. Definitive, decisive, undeniable truth.
Undeniable. No one can deny that what we have said is true.
Exactly. Because we won't listen to them.
No, we're too high and mighty.
Well, we're too high up because we're in space.
Yeah, we can't hear them. In space, we
No.
can't hear them denying us.
But we can somehow hear each other do this podcast because
Yeah,
we've got scuba masks on. See, it's all making sense.
Scuba
We've tied our
masks.
scuba masks together, and we're just shouting words at each other,
We're just exchanging breath.
which is definitely a safe thing to do.
In space.
I encourage everyone to exchange breath with whoever's nearest to you right now.
Via scuba masks tied together. Now we've got that beautiful image to kick off the show. Yeah, I think we
You
can
had
only...
no segue there whatsoever.
No, not at all.
And now that we've had that beautiful image to set off the show...
Now over to Kyle's Corner. Damn, that's me. I still got to say something.
Kyle's Corner!
Oh, is it? Oh, it was still part of the musical. Damn. No, still.
And
got
that was Kyle's Corner. Tune in next week to hear more of Kyle's Corner.
Next week.
Eventually, you'll have a whole sentence in the Kyle's Corner.
Yeah. Should that be a new segment to the show? Because this show needs to run longer than it already does. Should you have a new segment that is just Kyle's Corner?
We get to the point far too easily. I've decided we need more pointless segues and confusing anecdotes.
Yeah. The show doesn't ramble enough as it is. We need to stretch this thing out.
Like how they stretched all the tar out in space.
Exactly. All relevant, and it'll all make sense.
I mean the government.
Don't trust the government. Lies.
Tar and lies, that's all they are.
Tar and lies. So this week, Nathan, you've run out of money yet again, like you do.
Oh, what? How did that happen? I mean, I just invested in video cassettes and pogo sticks covered in knives.
Yeah, both skyrocketed.
I was richer than I'd ever been in my life for a day or two.
Yeah, but you obviously gave your bank details over to some guy who told you he'd make you even more money. All you had to do was give over your bank details, social security number, passport.
My social security number, despite the fact that not being a thing that exists here.
What do you mean, Nathan? You saying we are not American? Are you not a proud American, Nathan?
Well, I mean, we're currently in space. Remember, we're currently Martians.
Okay.
That's what being in space means. I've decided.
Okay. So anyway, you lost all your money, and you needed some more money to.
That does sound like me.
Yeah, to fund your rampant cocaine habit.
And my rampant cocaine and stamp collection.
Yeah, all your money goes up your nose or on your tongue.
Yeah.
So you decided to go to the laboratory round the corner and test their new pills.
Oh, Larry's Laboratorium.
Larry's Laboratorium, yeah. He's trying to invent people with superpowers. And he's got a white pill and he's got a red pill, and you're basically going to get superpowers.
It's your classic bargain basement genetic engineering job.
Exactly. The only problem is he doesn't know how to turn these abilities off yet. So you're going to be the first test subject, and whatever you get is probably going to stay with you for the rest of your life.
That's a good thing. I don't want powers for not to last for the rest of my life.
Oh, that is why you were so happy to be on board, and you were getting paid like £100.
That was why he was one of my first investments before I gave all my money away.
Exactly. So you get the choice, basically. You can either take the white pill or the red pill.
Any hint about what these pills do, or am I just taking random pills for no reason? Which you should definitely do, kids. I encourage.
Well, he tells you.
Are we going to need like a legal disclaimer at the end of this episode? Like, anything you do based off of what Carl and Nathan said cannot be used to sue them or send them to prison.
It's all you, Nathan. You're the one encouraging kids to take pills.
You're the one that says space is filled with tar.
Okay, let's think about this logically. Is any kid going to be able to get into space to find that out? Is any kid going to be able to find their mum's pills on the counter? Which one's more likely?
Damn, you've outsmarted me again. I'll get you next time, Kyle.
I am a wily fox.
You are. Wily Coyote.
So Larry tells you that the white pill will turn you invisible. I think that's
Ooh,
great. Yeah.
that's good.
The red pill will give you a flame body, so you will be entirely made out of flames.
Huh.
So you've got a choice to make.
Wow. Okay, well, I need to ask Larry before I take the terms and conditions of these pills. When I turn invisible, do my clothes turn invisible with me, or am I an invisible man wearing clothes and I have to be naked to be fully invisible?
Yes, you are. It's only you, Nathan, that is turned
Only my
invisible.
body, only my
Yeah,
physical body is naked. Only my physical body is naked, and
that's your choice.
only my physical body is invisible.
Yeah,
And well, okay, so that's good. I've established that. So if I want to be, I can either be, I can either freak people out by just being a pair of a jumper and trousers walking around with no hands and head.
yeah,
And the whole invisible man stick where I'm wearing a pair of sunglasses.
yeah, exactly.
All in bandages, and I take the bandages off and I reveal that I have no head. Ooh.
So you would go to the Halloween party dressed as a mummy, but then slowly unravel it throughout the night, and people would be like, "What? There's nothing inside."
I take the sunglasses off and I didn't put bandages over the eyes and they just see right through me.
Scary
That is,
stuff.
whereas the other option is my entire body turns into flame.
Yes.
Now I'm no big city doctor, but as far as I'm aware, fire don't have no organs.
Fire don't have no organs, sir. I say. Fire don't have no organs.
So I would not have a brain. I wouldn't have eyes.
You would have eyes. You would be able to see. You would be able to
Oh,
think.
so it's kind of my consciousness exists within the fire. I can still see. I can still hear. I'm still
Yes.
aware of
You can still
things. Despite
speak.
I can
You
still.
just
Oh my god, that's amazing! How do I speak? What do I
probably
sound?
in like a crack. You sound like a roaring fire every time you speak. You're very demonic, actually. You could scare a lot of people.
Well, so far they both sound amazing. I can
Yeah.
freak people out either by just being invisible in general, or wearing clothes while invisible and just them seeing a head rolling around, or I'm walking around wearing a latex mask of like Ronald Reagan, and then I take it off to reveal that there's no one there. Whereas a roaring fire, I could just I'm burning around the place, crackling at people, talking to them like the demon in the fireplace.
If you were an arsonist, it would be a great power to have.
Yeah, and if I wasn't an arsonist, this would be very inconvenient for me because I'm literally incapable of doing anything but set things on fire. Now,
Yes.
if the fire spreads, is that spreading me? If the fire consumes like an entire building, is all of that fire me, or is there just like one, like a human body-sized version of fire that's me, and the rest is fire outside of me?
That's interesting. Is it like a part of you extending and growing?
Yeah,
Because fire
and
does grow.
it yes, fire does grow. That's fact number two for the
Fact
episode.
number two. So you could like consume logs and things and grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh my god, I could consume. You're right. I could consume an entire woods and become Godzilla-sized, roaring over the countryside, laughing demonically as their puny human missiles pass through me.
But if
I mean,
you,
unless they realise that they could use water, then I'm a bit screwed.
yeah, I think that would be a way of shrinking you back down. But as long as there was the tiniest flame left, you would survive.
So if there was like the burnt embers in a cigarette butt or something.
Yeah, you just, you just like if this was a film, like they would put you out and all of the water would like save the forest, and then it would like go boom, 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 and cut into this cigarette butt and a little you crawling away across the ground.
It would be like an ember. It would be like an ember, fire ember, being blown away in the wind, and I leave the scene and I end up somewhere else, starting a very small fire.
Yeah, the ember flies away and it's got your face, and you're just grinning maniacally.
Ah, be
So there are some downsides to having this fire body, I will admit. But what about being invisible? Like, none of your friends and family would be able to see you again?
I mean, I could just, like we said, Mission Impossible style, have a plastic mask of my own face made.
You could. You could just, like, paint
I mean, I need to get
yourself.
money first because we've established I no longer have the millions that I did last week. So
No.
the resources that I have available to me to get Mission Impossible style latex masks of my own face have diminished.
It would probably be paper mache to start with.
No, I was imagining as an invisible man I'd do a bunch of robberies. But yes, I make a paper mache version of my own face.
That's the first thing any invisible man would do.
If I were to paint over my invisible body, would the paint be invisible? Is anything touching my skin invisible?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Could you uninvisible me by throwing a can of paint over me?
Possibly. I mean, that's how your nemesises would try and stop you. Like, when Scooby-Doo sets up the big trap to catch you, they would have the
God, I hate that little dog.
They would have the pot of paint above the door. You would push it open. The paint would fall over you, and they'd know exactly where you were.
Those words, those rascally rabbits. No, what are they? They're interfering teenagers. There's a phrase. You know the phrase. Why don't I know the phrase?
You meddling kids.
Meddling kids. Yep. For some reason, I thought the phrase was you annoying teenagers.
That doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
It doesn't. But they're not really kids, are they? When you look at Scooby-Doo and his gang, they're not kids.
No. Certainly. I mean, Shaggy's got a beard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a kid.
And they drive a van. They have to be of legal driving. They have to be of legal driving age.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're just like, maybe they are kids.
Criminals.
They're just criminals.
A rough criminal gang. Oh God, the Scoobies are here.
Where did they get a talking dog?
Don't dogs just talk in that world, or is it just Scooby-Doo?
I don't know, actually. I know that his nephew does.
Yeah, better than he does.
Yeah, his nephew's very articulate. I don't know. Maybe it is maybe in that world all dogs can just talk, and it's just that's the only difference from that to our world, and the fact that people commit crimes dressed up a lot. Like, if you want to commit any crime, you dress up as a supernatural being.
Yes. Which, I mean, I could be a Scooby-Doo villain. As an invisible man, I could definitely be a Scooby-Doo villain. I could really freak out the Scooby gang then. I'm dressed up as an old Mr. Willikers. They take off the mask to reveal nothing there.
It was no one at all. Damn, we should have thought of that.
It's the opposite of the classic Scooby-Doo thing. Instead of them taking off the mask of the supernatural being to reveal it's a normal person, they take off the mask of an ordinary person to reveal a supernatural being. Now, I couldn't do that as a living embodiment of fire.
No.
I can't wear like a mask underneath. The plastic would be melting. They can't take off the mask and suddenly there's a fire in front of them. As cool as that would be.
No, you would just burn them all to death instantly, I would assume.
So yeah, that's the difference. My rivalry with the Scooby gang, or well, for legal differences, they're the Skibby gang.
Skibby Dib.
Yep, Skibby Dib. And their animal is a camel, a talking camel.
A talking camel. Wow. I don't want to watch this show, Nathan.
And a
fucking Skibby Dib. This sounds awful. A talking camel called Skibby Dib.
Instead of a little beard, he's got the best friend of the camel has sideburns. Huge bloody sideburns.
Wow. No, I still don't want to watch this show.
And they're not kids, they're all old.
And in episode 1, you as a flame god destroy them all. The end.
I either burn them all to death or I scare them to death by them taking off my mask to reveal a ghost.
Yeah.
And then the camel jumps into Shaky's arms and breaks his arms because it's a bloody camel.
Old Shaky.
Oh, Shaky. Shaky Bones is the full title, but everyone just calls him Shaky. The camel jumps into his arms and his arms snap off because, it's a camel.
Come on, Skippy Dib. Come into old Shaky's arms.
Skipper Dib, where did you go? Skippy Dib, where did you go? We can't find you now. Skippy Dib, oh no, you're on fire now.
This really is a musical episode of our show, isn't it? Like, that's the third number so far.
So either way, both of these scenarios are sounding brilliant. Either way, I can be a supernatural threat that could destroy the Skibby gang once and for all.
Yeah, exactly. Have you thought about using your powers for any kind of good, or is that just gone right over your head?
I mean, good for me, I can steal lots of money.
Yeah. So no, then.
The fire thing, outside of murdering people in a fire,
Yeah,
there are downfalls. I can't really enjoy. I can't eat. I can't touch things. I could never relax.
No.
I could never lie down somewhere and not burn something down.
You can't have interactions with other humans. Like, you shake their hand and you've burnt it off.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the appeal. Stop. I'm thinking about the minuses right now, not the pluses. You know, burning human beings alive is in the plus column. Not being able to eat a sandwich is in the minus column.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that would be tricky. But it would be amazing to be a demon fire god.
It
that
would.
Consumes an entire woods, becomes absolutely enormous, a towering inferno blazing over, like the Great Fire of London. I could consume an entire city.
Whereas if you were an invisible man, you could watch people when they didn't know you were watching them.
Yes, that is true.
You could sneak into top government facilities. You could listen in on marital problem conversations. You could do anything.
Into government facilities and sit on their sofas naked.
You could. Well, you'd have to be. You wouldn't be able to wear clothes. They would see you.
No, exactly. So I'm literally wiping my butt with the certificate of independence or whatever it's called.
What is it called? The Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of Independence. The Magna Carta. I've used that to wash my delicates.
Yeah, you're sitting on the president's chair, wiping your bollocks up and down the seat, having a whale of a time. But then, if the president came in, he would sit on your lap, not realising, and that might be awkward.
I mean, I am allowed to get up. It's just
you are?
Would see this move on its own. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there, wait for the president to come sit on my lap.
You're so scared of being caught that you just stay sat on the chair, and then the president
he doesn't notice.
Oh, this chair's a bit higher than usual.
Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me. Being naked and having a man sit on me is not. No.
I mean, saying man as if the president of America is always going to be a man, Nathan. That's kind of.
I'm a sexist piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Even still, being naked and having a woman, we've established on this show that I'm a monstrous human being. I love burning people alive and drowning puppies, but I'm not going to be naked and invisible and let women sit on me. That's a step too far.
You're not going to become a human share.
No. That's crossing a very serious line from cartoon villainy to an abuser.
Okay, Nathan. So what are you thinking? Which pill are you going to take?
Oh God, they're really tough because being the fire, the power that being a living flame that I could have over people would be absolutely amazing, but I would lose the physical pleasures of life.
Yeah.
Whereas being an invisible man, if I wanted to be fully invisible, I'd have to be naked, which would get a bit nippy. And beyond sneaking into places and maybe scaring some people to death when I reveal myself, I guess and stealing sometimes. Not many. But then, yeah, it would be fun to be able to go anywhere and not have anyone see me, to listen to conversations, to learn all the secrets that man wasn't meant to know. I could, sneak into Area 51 and into Area 27.
The secret area.
Yeah, where they keep the super intelligent badgers.
Exactly. Fact 3 for the fact. Is that fact 3 or fact 4 for the episode?
I think that's fact 3 for the episode.
Fantastic.
Now fact 4 is that we've had 3 previous facts of this episode.
Yes, write them all in your book.
Yep, the big book of facts.
Yes.
I think, pushed to a decision, I'm just going to go with my heart. I want to be the demon fire that plagues men.
And that's what you chose. You chose the red pill.
You are now, well, yes, you're now sitting in front of a fireplace and I'm cackling in front of you.
Yeah, it's nice and toasty. I can feel you through the webcam.
Yeah. There'll be a pow and you carry me out of here on a torch so I don't have to stay inside this house.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk. You're fine. You're a human body made of fire. You're still you, Nathan.
I thought I was limited to the physical movements of fire.
You thought you would become fire itself and nothing else.
That's what you said. That was the sentence that you said.
No,
you said
you would
fire.
have a flame body, I said.
Okay. Oh, that makes it even better. Yes, I am now a flame body. I'm walking around as a human flame.
Fantastic. And everyone at home knows that if they ever get this offer, become a fire god.
Yes, and everyone at home knows that they should fear me. Fear me.
I genuinely do fear you, but not for the reasons you think.
So yeah, I've had a bit of an interesting week. I've become the embodiment of an element. You, Kyle, you as well have had a monumental change in your life. You decided to follow your dreams.
Of course, everyone should follow their dreams.
Yes, everyone should follow their dreams. You've decided to follow your dreams of directing a movie on the big screen.
It's always been my dream to make a big film. Oh, yeah, and I finally followed that dream.
Yes, and you have everything you need. You have your director's beret, you have your quill, you have your scroll, you have workers to yell abuse at, you have a chair, you have a megaphone.
Does it spin? Does my chair spin?
Oh, no, it's one of those... well, I was doing a hand motion, but I realised this is a podcast. It's one of those ones that open up, that fold in.
A deck chair.
A fold-up chair. Fold-up chair! Why did it take me so long to remember the words fold-up chair? It's a classic director's chair. It has the word director on the back, or your name on the back, or director Carl Bennett, or whatever name. You can come up with your own director name.
Director Coolman Kyle. Is what my
is Coolman spelled with a K, so it's onomatopoeia. Your name, Kyle.
Of course it is, Nathan. And the two O's are a pair of sunglasses. That's how cool it is.
Oh, it's so cool. You are such a cool man, Kyle.
I am, and that's what I make everyone. Everyone has to call me Cool Man Kyle.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that you can yell abuse at your staff for doing if they don't refer to you as Cool Man Kyle. Excuse me, Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett.
No, I'm a very particular director, and I have to have things exactly my way, or I will throw a hissy fit.
Yes, you will throw pans. You will throw fish. You'll throw didgeridoo at people.
Exactly. I am not good to my actors, but I do get the results.
You get the results. So you have everything you need. You have all of those ingredients. Only thing you're missing is any idea of what you want to make. Any general sense of what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I know I want to make a film, but that doesn't mean I have any creativeness or any ideas in me. I just know what I want to be doing.
So you decide to begin your research. You sit in your private cinematorium under the sea, watching at least 12 different movies at once, ranging from all genres: musicals, political thrillers, anime hentai, etc., etc.
Sounds good. Sounds like a Friday night.
And this is what you were doing when as I'm sure all our listeners would know, in this date of July 2952, which is when this podcast will come out, there was the great undersea earthquake.
Yes, of course. I remember it well.
Check your history books. I mean, I don't know why it would be in a history book when...
It happened today.
Yes. By history books, I mean newspapers.
That's what we call them. But they are history books, aren't they?
They are. I mean, the second they're printed, they're from the past. Open your minds, people.
Fifth fact for the episode, a newspaper is a history book.
Yes. So that was when the great undersea earthquake happened and all the screens fell on you, exploding with electricity. And your entire body was consumed in electricity. Your brain was consumed, your belly, your bumhole, your nostrils, every single part of you, every atom was electrified.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest of experiences.
No. And you discovered something unique had happened to you.
Yes, I
You
did.
were transported into the world of cinema itself,
Yes, I was.
zipping around, and you could see two pathways ahead of you into the world of big screen movie making magic.
Perfect. I mean, this will hopefully give me ideas for my next film.
Yes, but obviously you'd have to make that film in that world. You either will be living the rest of your life in a Broadway musical or a silent movie.
Okay, wow. So, I mean, we've already established that this is a musical episode, so this is very apropos.
I know. I mean, that was serendipitous.
So, okay, so I would be living in a Broadway musical or silent film.
So in the Broadway musical, you'd be a director thinking of what movie you want to direct. The musical would be about you directing a movie, and the silent movie would be about you directing a movie, but in a silent movie. And obviously, whenever you speak, you just move your mouth around and then wait for the subtitles to come up on the next screen.
Yeah, the big black cue card with the white writing. Yeah.
It's the old-fashioned kind of silent movie. They don't have subtitles alongside the pictures. No. You have a scene, the scene stops, and then you have subtitles.
So during that time, I'm just standing around waiting for the subtitles to finish.
Yes.
Okay, so
we'll add an extra 9 billion years to your life, because imagine every time someone says a sentence you have to stop, wait for a black screen to appear, read what they've said, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't speak a lot. So the only thing I would hear is piano music, like
and the piano music would change depending on the kind of scene you're having. Is it a calm, relaxing moment? Is it inspired? Is it the moment when you decide what kind of director you want to be and you've got the brilliant idea? Is it that moment when you meet the beautiful seductress that you work with? Is it the moment when the evil mustachioed man ties your love to a railroad track? Or all the different music that will be playing. Whereas, obviously, musical, well, I mean, anything can happen in that. But anything that happens to you, you will be singing about.
Yes.
And you will have about 50 backup dancers. Basically, you'll be singing in the shower, and 50 people will suddenly appear in your bathroom to choreograph and support your song.
Yeah, so I'll be in the shower like, why can I not come up with an idea for my movie? The panels of the shower will like pull apart and the bathroom will melt away.
It'll be that kind of thing where they change the scene around you. So suddenly your bathroom is bigger than it ever was before, and there's a piano there that was never there before.
And all of the women dancing around are like dressed up as suds.
Yes.
And they're like dancing as the bubbles floating around through the air.
Exactly. They dance past you going, you have no ideas. You have no ideas.
Oh, yeah, it's like people like spinning around my head. I'm like, leave me alone, evil thoughts. You have no ideas. You have no ideas. Oh, yeah.
Your father, the oil tycoon, bursts in wearing his, big boiler hat. You're a disappointment to me, son.
I am a disappointment to my father.
I mean, I never said it would be a good musical with any tune. Or any kind of consistent lyrics.
But it's a musical nonetheless. Yeah, so things would just keep changing and whirling around me, and then suddenly I would step back into the shower at the end of the musical number, and the panels would close back in, and I would be standing there, and everything would be running normally again. And then I would continue with the movie.
But any conversation you have with people has to be musical. It does have its ups and downs. Not everything is the big crescendo. Like there'll be quiet parts where you're singing softly to someone, kind of in a conversational way. And then
Yeah.
suddenly it will burst into a giant extravaganza, regardless of what's going on. You get a takeaway. Can I have the number 57 with rice and prawns?
Did he say rice and prawns? Yes, he said rice and prawns.
And then a bunch of giant prawns start dancing around you as the Chinese restaurant explodes open and you're suddenly under the sea.
So it doesn't make my life more exciting in the fact that I won't be doing mundane things, but everything mundane would be enhanced and made to look amazing and fantastic.
And so will everything amazing and fantastic. Everything has this feel to it.
Yeah. So I'm liking this already. So what are the pluses to living in this silent movie? I mean, I can't really hear any real speech.
No,
that is
you
a
just
negative.
The calming and then changing crescendo of piano music. I guess there's no misunderstanding of what people say because you can always read.
Yeah.
Literally. You know things happen slowly.
Yeah, the time is going to go a lot slower than usual in this world. Also, everyone I see is going to be in monotone, black and white. So
yes,
it's like whereas one is very big and colourful and beautiful, and the other is very toned down, but stylistically quite nice.
It is, yes. The musical world, like I said, everything you do, suddenly there'll be 20 backup dancers and singers around you. Like I said, you're in the shower, you're in the toilet, you're making passionate love to your definitely real girlfriend that definitely exists.
Yeah.
And, they will they'll suddenly all come out of the bed. Like there was one man inside of a pillow somehow.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to finish? Is he going to get there? Yes, he will!
And then the women go, is she going to do it? Is she going to finish? No, she is.
Wah, wah, wah.
No, she isn't.
They start doing the can in front of the screen.
Yeah, that was literally what was going through my head.
Fantastic. So at least I would be able to have normal scenes with people in the black and white silent film world. Like yes. I would be able to take a shower in peace. I would be able to.
Yes, that would be a. There would be no speaking, so it wouldn't even stop to have the black screen. It would just be lovely piano music while you have a shower.
See, that I like the idea of that. Nice bit of music to go with my shower, and I wouldn't have to hear the trickling water.
You know when things are going to change in your life because when the music gets sinister, you know something bad's happening.
Yeah, and when it starts to go slow and da-da-da-da, I know that someone's coming on to me.
Yeah, you no longer have to rely on social cues to understand people. You just listen to the music.
Exactly. I would play the system. Don't you worry, Nathan. Oh, but which would I prefer? This is a tricky situation I've got myself into again.
It is. It's because this is the rest of your life. You are living the rest of your life in a Broadway musical or a silent movie. Which can you imagine would allow you to live the most ordinary? Well, if ordinary is the kind of life you want to live.
Well, one, I would probably get very annoyed and frustrated with constant, like, oh, I'm going to the toilet. Da 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 da. He's going to the toilet. Da 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 da. Is it going to be a number 1 or number 2?
He's almost out of toilet roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no! Is there enough left to wipe his bum?
Exactly. So that would be very annoying. No matter what little thing I did, it would be turned into a song.
Carl is shuffling across the living room to get to the toilet roll he has in the other room. His trousers are around his ankles.
Ankles! Yeah. So there's that, and that would be very annoying. But then, living in the silent world, I wouldn't actually be able to have proper conversations with people because I would have to wait for these subtitles to come up.
It would be incredibly slow. So you'd probably get into the habit of having conversations that immediately get to the point.
Yeah.
This podcast would take forever.
We just wouldn't be able to do the podcast anymore.
It wouldn't be possible. No.
But trying to do a podcast where every little thing we say is turned into a song is not ideal either.
No, that is true. I mean, God, the Tar Space musical extravaganza where we set fire to the universe. I mean, lots of people would have died.
I mean, it would be visually very nice, very good. We could
It
we could
would
make
be
video
if
podcasts.
only this wasn't a podcast.
Yeah, it would have to be like a YouTube show or something.
And again, either way, the living in a musical. I mean, I guess the music sounding of it works for a podcast, but a silent movie wouldn't work very well in a podcast.
No, it would be piano music interpreting what we're saying, which would be insane.
Well, I mean, the poor piano man has to interpret our nonsense with piano sounds.
Yeah, I feel sorry for that guy.
His head slams into the piano as he's given up.
I think these are pretty equal, so I'm just going to go with my heart. Like you went with your heart in the first half of this episode. I'm going to go with my heart, and I am going to live in the... Are you waiting for this? You're on the edge of your seat, I can see.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Wait, let me get on the edge of my seat.
The actual edge of your seat. Okay, don't fall off the chair. You're going to fall into the camera in a minute, and then this whole thing's going to go down.
Then I'll be living inside my camera.
Exactly, and that's how it works. Fact number 6 for the episode. I'm going to go with my heart, Nathan, and I'm going to live in the world of the musical.
I
think it's.
Do you want to explain why you're going to live in the world of the musical? And obviously, you have to explain in song.
I think I would enjoy it. I think I would love it. In fact, no. I think it would be the best thing since sliced bread.
The best thing since sliced bread. As a bunch of slices of bread dancing behind you.
Exactly, that's where I was thinking. Dancing bread everywhere.
Somehow, all of the musicals I've imagined have incorporated jazz hands. They all do the jazz hands.
Every single one of them. I think I would get annoyed with it after a few years, but I think for those first few years, it's going to be fun.
After a few years?
I reckon.
You think it would take you years to get annoyed of that?
I think so. If the numbers were different every time and it was all original stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, the songs would all be different.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be very hard to sleep.
Well...
Or would I just go to sleep and then it would cut to the next day?
Yes.
You would hear like a do, and then it would cut to the next day. Me waking up going, oh, morning, good morning, it's time for eggs and bacon. Good morning to you.
Yes, exactly. But also the way you said that, like, I would just go to sleep and it would cut to the next day. Isn't that how it actually works?
Oh, there we go. The world is a movie, Nathan. I think I've just come up with my next movie.
A movie which you will be directing inside of a musical. So you will be a director in a musical. You'd be like, no, that shot was rubbish. Why did you become an actor? You worthless piece of filth.
Exactly. It's going to be what would this musical be called? The musical where I'm in a musical making a film about a musical.
Oh wait, why have you decided that you're going to make a musical then? That's the kind of movie that you want to make in the musical. I guess you can't not make a musical in your musical life because there's nothing that exists that isn't a musical. You can make a silent movie inside of your musical world. That
wouldn't be possible. As soon as I tried to make a silent movie, there would be like people dancing around going, "It's silent, it's silent. No one can hear a thing." So exactly. So I'm going to have to make a musical. It's going to be a musical inside a musical world.
Oh yes, and yes. What's your musical called, Kyle? What is your musical about?
I think my musical is going to be about a guy who gets trapped in a world where he has to live in a musical.
Oh,
it's very meta.
Where do you come up with these ideas? Is what all the people are going to ask you. You know, when in the scene in the musical when you get interviewed by the film magazine companies.
Yeah, I'm going to be in all the history books, Nathan.
All the history books.
The front page of every history book out there. So I think we've done well today. We've done our entire musical episode, and it's just come very naturally, I think.
It has. I mean, I am creating the sweet musical stylings of a roaring fire burning your family alive, whereas you are living in a musical.
Exactly.
Oh, we could cross over. Oh, I could sneak into your world and be like, oh no, there's a fire. Wait, it has a face. and it's laughing. What is going on?
And I don't think we've turned anyone off of the podcast with our beautiful singing voices.
And then 5 backup dancers come up. Oh no, I'm so scared. He's just burned Michelle alive.
Wonderful. This is going to be great. Oh, I didn't come up with a name for my film, did I?
You did not.
But if you're going to be in it, then it needs to
The
incorporate
great
you somehow.
fire, the burning inferno, the blaze of destiny. All hot fire.
Yeah, any one of those will do.
all brilliant. Just pick one. Any of them will do.
Oh, the
Tango
song.
in Inferno.
Tango. There we go.
That works as the musical of a world being burned alive by a fire demon.
There you go. Tango in Inferno.
Or Tango in Inferno. Yeah.
Okay, you've just got to say "in" twice. It's quite. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Tango in Inferno. But once you know it, it's fine.
Oh, I guess actually maybe Tango Inferno sounds better.
Or
doesn't it?
just Tango Inferno. Get rid of that "in." No one needs it.
See, that's why you're the director, Kyle. I'm just the idea. I'm the script writer, and also I'm the living embodiment of fire.
Fantastic.
I burnt up next to you, handed you my screenplay. Would you mind giving this a read of this burning pile of paper I've handed you?
It shall be made. Tango Inferno will be #1 in every history book.
Tango Inferno. Tango Inferno. Tango Inferno.
Is that the opening piece?
Yes.
Okay. If anyone disagrees with anything we've said today, then let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the episode, then please follow and subscribe to the podcast on Patreon. You can find it at patreon.com/ifyouhadto, though, where you can find all the newest episodes with more being posted up all the time. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle_M_Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's.
And you can follow me at N Wozniak Art, which is N for Nathan, WOZNIAK for Wozniak, ART for art, and then at Nathan Wozniak, spelled the same way, on my Instagram.
This has been If You Had To, though. I have been Kyle.
And I am the great Inferno, also known as Nathan.
Fantastic. We're going to be Godzillionaires.